Seeing the sudden shots fired behind her, Mary had to take cover behind the car. Just as she was losing hope, she noticed they had stopped firing. When she realized the criminals were reloading, Mary quickly bolted into the thick forest, barely escaping with her life. But the criminals weren't so lucky, because Mary had already turned their house into a waterlogged mess. The blankets were completely soaked through. Fortunately, the kidnapped girl in the basement was still there. Since the old man had fallen into the ice hole earlier, his whole body was shivering from the freezing water. To prevent him from succumbing to hypothermia, they rushed to the car to warm up, using the heat to thaw their frozen bodies. Meanwhile, the wounded Mary wasn't sitting idle. She returned to where her car had broken down, only to discover the hood had been opened, and the inside had been sabotaged by the criminals. It seemed the criminals planned to trap her on this snowy mountain. With no other choice, Mary grabbed some supplies, and quickly headed to the warming hut, but unexpectedly discovered, when the old man fell into the ice hole, he had dropped a gun in the snow. Even though the gun only had one round left, at least she now had a weapon for protection. Mary quickly secured the gun on herself. Soon the old man's body gradually returned to normal. To deal with Mary once and for all, they got dressed and took the girl to the warming hut, determined to eliminate Mary. Little did they know, Mary had already figured this out, and was now hiding in the woods quietly watching everything, while the criminals headed onto the ice. Mary quickly doubled back to their cabin, and quickly treated her wound. Just as Mary was about to search for supplies, she discovered a radio in their car. She immediately tried calling for help, and surprisingly someone actually responded. The person claimed to be a forest ranger. After learning Mary's location and that she was being hunted, the ranger told her not to panic. He was on his way. But just then, the old man suddenly appeared from behind. At the critical moment, Mary grabbed an axe from the ground and swung it at him, successfully turning the tables. Facing the threat of the weapon, the old man begged for mercy, saying the kidnapped girl had nothing to do with him. Turns out the old man was a surgeon. The reason he came here was to treat a wealthy woman's condition, because the wealthy woman had severe kidney failure, and the kidnapped girl's kidney was a perfect match for the wealthy woman. So he was hired to come here to perform the transplant. The old man said he didn't want to be involved anymore, and hoped Mary would let him go to the hospital for his injured foot. Hearing this, Mary's resolve softened. Seeing that Mary would spare his life, the old man gave Mary the remaining ammunition, and drove away from the place. But shortly after the old man left, he ran into the wealthy woman driving back, and so, the old man was forced to turn back. Although Mary was completely unaware of this, she hadn't fully trusted the old man either, because she had another plan. Without hesitation, she loaded the bullets, then pushed the car onto the frozen lake, stuffed a rag into the gas tank, and set her car on fire. Her purpose for doing this was to attract the approaching ranger. Sure enough, the ranger soon followed the smoke and found Mary. Mary immediately asked the ranger for help, but the two rangers weren't fools. After taking her gun, they followed Mary to the criminal's house to investigate, but the cabin was now completely empty. Just as they were about to look around, they were suddenly ambushed by the wealthy woman. Both rangers were taken down on the spot. Mary quickly scrambled to find the gun, and fired several blind shots at the wealthy woman, though she managed to wound the woman's leg. Her gun was now completely out of ammunition. She tried to rush over to grab the ranger's gun, but was blocked by the wealthy woman's aim. Just then Mary accidentally noticed the old man was sitting lifeless in the car. It seemed the wealthy woman had seen the old man betray her and flee, so she chose to silence him permanently. This terrified Mary and she fled desperately, while the wealthy woman aimed her weapon at Mary's position. As the wealthy woman shot through the ceiling, Mary was eventually captured and dragged to the basement.